guys, welcome to another episode of Relationship with Rach, and as always, please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Today the topic is be careful who you are listening to, and I'm discussing this because I have seen a lot of relationships come to an end because of third parties. So I think this is something important to have a conversation about, especially when people that don't know how your relationship got started, or they do know but they still don't have the full story because hey, it's your relationship at the end of the day, and they start saying things that are affecting the relationship or are making you to see your spouse in some kind of way, and it's causing conflict in the relationship. You have to be careful of that. And this is especially important to married people. You have to be careful who you are listening to. What is their motive? Who is advising you? What is the source of the information you are getting? Sometimes we think people mean well and they are just giving me advice, they're trying to help me, but they're actually causing problem for you and your significant other. So you have to be careful who you're listening to when you are in a relationship. Because honestly, not everybody has good intentions, and some people do have good intentions, but what they are saying may be completely wrong, and that is just the truth. And we've probably heard this before, that friends do have the tendency of like pitching spouses against each other. Like some people will say that's how men are, or that's how women are, or be careful what you tell a woman, or be careful how you behave to a woman, or if you give him an inch, he will take him out, things like that. So we have to be careful who we are listening to. What is the source of the information we are getting, especially when it comes to our relationships? Who is talking to you? Who is speaking into your ears? Who is advising you? Now, I believe source is very important when it comes to anything you're doing, basically. And I wouldn't read just any book, especially if it's a motivational book, inspirational book, or self-help book. I want to know what is the source of this information. Is it godly? Is it right? You need to know these things. So be careful who you're listening to when you're in a relationship. Be careful who is advising you. A lot of relationships have come to an end because people take the wrong advice from friends or from family. As I always say, it's you and your spouse against the world. Nobody should be trying to come between you. Nobody should be trying to put you against each other. No, if somebody does not want a progress of the relationship or the growth of your relationship, you should part ways with that person, because they should be trying to support you and make this love grow and make this love work, especially if it's a good relationship, especially if you're in a relationship with a good person. Women, in many cases, we do tend to take to bad advice easily. And I'm not saying men don't do that as well, but I think women are more emotional, so we have that tendency of like listening to friends, or this is how my friend does our thing, or my friend said this, and we could easily listen to other people, and that could cause problems in our relationship. So we have to be very, very, very careful. I was speaking to a friend recently, and he mentioned the fact that he was having some issues with his girlfriend, and it was something minor, and she just immediately said, yeah, that's how Nigerian men are, and something like that. And I'm like, that is a problem that is coming from what she has heard somebody say. And you have to be really careful with that. Don't let other people poison your mind towards your spouse. The fact that other people act like that, or other men act like that, or other women act like that, does not mean the person you're with is like that. So you cannot judge a person based on what other people have said. You cannot judge the entire male gender based on one man or what or some men. You have to judge people based on their character, based on the qualities they exhibit. So that is not fair. So don't take words like, oh, that is how men are. I hate those kind of generalizations. Oh my gosh, I hate those kind of generalizations. When people tell me things like, hey, women, yeah, that is how you women are. I'm like, nah, I'm unique, I'm different. And yes, every woman is different. There are some similar characteristics and there are some similar qualities that we share. Like women are more emotional, and we are emotional feelers, and men are rational thinkers, things like that. Yes, there are some generalities, but at the same time, every single woman is different, and it's not fair to generalize, especially when it's a negative generalization. People tend to do that, especially when it's a negative generalization. Yes, that's how women are. That's how they'll be disrespecting their husband. That's how this, like, I hate this kind of generalization. I really hate this kind of generalization. But the point of this topic today is really to help people, especially people in a committed relationship, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a courtship, whether it's a serious dating relationship. It's just to help you so that you are aware of these things that are really important. Be careful who you're listening to. Be careful who is giving you advice. Even if it's your family member, you have to be careful. And this tends to happen especially when, you know how our family members are like always supporting us and they are siding with us even when we are wrong. Even when we are the one that is wrong, they still want to stand by our side. We have to be careful of that. So if your spouse does something to you and then you go and report them to your family is more likely to side with you. So that is not even wise to start with. They are more likely to take your back even if you're the one that is wrong. So you have to be careful about little things like that, so you don't end up having bigger issues in your relationship, or people don't end up coming between you and your spouse. And my model is, try to solve the problem yourself first before you even involve a third party. If you have an issue with your spouse, try to solve the problem. I hate involving third parties in my issues, in my problems. I just hate it. If I have an issue, or second party in my case, because I'm single, so I hate involving a second party. I try to solve my problem myself, and then if I can't, then I invite somebody, please help me. So that's the same way it should be in a relationship. Try to solve it between the both of you. And then if you find out this thing is bigger than us, maybe we need somebody else to pitch in, or we need a counsel, or we need a counselor or something like that, then you can invite somebody that is experienced, somebody that is wise, somebody that is godly, somebody that will give you godly advice, not somebody that will make it worse in a situation like that. And most of the time, your friends, they're just like you. They have like the same amount of knowledge like you, or except if you have those kind of friends that are very wise because they have spent time studying and educating themselves. Most of the time, you guys have the same kind of level of knowledge or wisdom. So I advocate seeking counsel or seeking advice from somebody who is more mature, older, and has been in this thing for a long time. Older couples maybe, or ministers, or things of that nature. But definitely try to solve it yourself first before you start reporting or talking about your spouse to other people. It's just gonna magnify the issue instead of solve it. So that is the topic for this week. Be careful who you listen to, and thank you for watching. I will see you again next week as I discuss another important topic on this vlog. Bye bye and have a good day.